The agenda, regular meeting.
The regular, okay.
I think you just came with nothing.
Oh, man, they're supposed to
We'll
do
just need,
all
Dr. Pete.
I'd like to call to order Public Property and Parks Committee agenda for Tuesday, April 22nd, 2024. Roll call, please.
Counsel Chakutis?
Present.
Present Counsel LaPierre.
present.
Present Counsel Net.
Present.
Present Counsel Matul.
Present.
Present Counsel Alansug.
Present.
All right, and on the agenda, could you read the order?
We have an order regarding number 0 Monty Road. Order that His Honor the Mayor may execute a deed transferring approximately 2,600 square feet to John A. Bartlett Jr. and Patricia A. Bartlett from a larger lot, parcel ID as shown on the attached plan, subject to an existing easement. Said conveyance is conditioned upon the buyers paying for all costs to subdivide the portion of the property to be conveyed and all recording fees. The purchase price for the property has been established by the city assessor at $13,200. The City of Lynn will not incur any costs associated with this transfer. The conveyed property may only be utilized for accessory structures, such as a pool, deck, and/or shed, or in addition to the existing home. All conditions as stipulated in this council order shall be incorporated into the deed and shall be valid for a period of 99 years.
All right. Attorney Vitale?
I'm here on behalf of the Bartletts. I was here at the end of the previous council's last session when which this was approved. What this does is put the conditions in that the council wanted and makes it conform to the conveyance that the city was about to do for the consideration of the $13,000. And I'm just here to say that all those conditions are acceptable to the Bartletts.
Okay, thank you. Attorney Lamanna?
This is correct. When we were finalizing for the closing, there was a discrepancy in the square footage. I spoke with the Wood Council, who's in favor of the removal of the condition. The plan is to have an addition to allow a daughter to move into the property.
Okay. Council Matul, do you have anything to add?
I don't have anything to add. I spoke with Attorney Lamanna, and I looked over it, and I'm in favor of it. So I motion to approve.
Good.
Second.
Second. Do I need a roll call for this?
Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Matul?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Alansug.
Yes.
All right. What is the wish of the committee?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I feel bad.
For the record, I said it many
Council
times.
Measure
That is
Madre.
not mine.
Terry's putting.
I told you, I said, there's no way that's. So what then?
Licensing Committee for Tuesday, April 23rd. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Counsel Field,
Present.
President Counsel Hogan,
Present.
President Counsel Net, President Counsel Armstrong,
Present.
President Counsel Meji Madre.
Present.
We know she's present.
Full attendance, perfect attendance. Thank you. You have some taxi operators for new licenses.
Okay, we have Junior Dyson.
Hi,
Councilor
Mr. Dyson. What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. We have seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Dyson, your license has been granted, and it will be ready Thursday after 8:30 in the clerk's office downstairs. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Okay, we have Danny Contreras, 30 Woodland Street. Danny?
Thank you. Thank you. What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to
A
approve.
motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? None, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? That license is granted. We'll be ready Thursday after 8:30 in the clerk's office. Next.
We have No Reyes Reynoso? No?
Thank you.
Yep.
What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to
A
approve.
motion to approve.
Second.
Seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That license is granted. All three licenses are granted, and we'll be ready Thursday after 8:30 in the clerk's office. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias.
We have one new livery operator, Ernest Smith, 250 Broadway in Revere.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
motion
sir.
to go in an executive session, please.
Certainly. Yep. We have to go second.
Second.
Second. We have second. We're in executive session. Anyone on the committee want to entertain a motion to reopen
Motion to
the
take
meeting?
off.
Motion to readjourn.
Readjourn. Second.
Meeting, seconded. All in favor, aye. Opposed?
Aye.
All right, we are reconvening. So we have livery operator new, Ernest Smith, the clerk read. I don't see Mr. Smith here. What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to table.
We have a motion to table, second, non-debatable. All in favor?
Aye.
I oppose. That motion, that license is tabled. Thank you.
Okay, we have renewed
We
licenses.
have renewed licenses. We'll take them as a whole if we can. What's the wish of the committee?
Take them as a whole.
Take them as a whole. We have a motion to approve.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Yep. Those signed renewal licenses are all granted. We have a canning date, Madam Clerk?
We have canning for the Lynn Classical Track Team for May 25th, 26th, and 27th.
Okay, what's the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. It's been seconded. Any further discussion? None. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Those dates are granted for the Rams to can the track team. Yeah. Sure. Before we adjourn, sir, are you here for licensing? No. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We've wrapped everything up. Is there any other business, Madam Clerk?
No new business.
Business? Anybody want to entertain a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn on the floor. Is there a seconded?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Allen Song. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you. Team East.
Oh, right on time. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I do.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Ways and Means Committee meeting. Madam Clerk, I call the meeting to order. Could you please
Yep.
roll call?
Counsel Net?
Present.
Present Counsel Hogan?
Present.
Present Counsel Chakutis?
Present.
Present Counsel Walsh?
Present.
Present Counsel Field?
Present.
Present.
Could you please read the transfer?
Okay, we have $1,475,000 from free cash to the Capital Stabilization Fund.
Mr. Which committee?
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
We have $1,750,000 from free cash to the School Ops Stabilization Fund.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. $1,500,000 from free cash to the Rainy Day Stabilization Fund.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. $2 million from free cash to the Fire Emergency Stabilization Fund.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Certified funds, please.
I have $200,000 to Economic Community Development for the Memorial Auditorium.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net? Yes,
Yes.
Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Last one, please.
And $139,388.92 to the library for the FY24 State Aid to Public Libraries Program.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Controller, no emergency? Okay, what is other business? Any new business?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
National Grid is not here?
Only one. There's another one coming.
Oh, two, okay.
Yeah, he's throwing you under the bus.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, it was nice of you.
Are you ready, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
TT, ready?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Today, April 23rd, 2024. I would like to call the Utilities Committee meeting to order. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Counsel Alanson?
Present.
Present. Counsel McLean? Absent. Counsel Hogan?
Present.
Present. Counselor Neji Madre?
Okay.
Present.
Present. Counselor Meany?
If that's
Present.
okay
Who's
with you.
here?
Present.
Council meeting. Awesome.
All right. We have 5 items on the agenda. Madam Clerk, please read the first one.
First one is 10-14 Lewis Place. Install a joint pole on Lewis Place and install one wooden pole approximately 25 feet from pole number 1 on Lewis Place.
Let's open this for public hearing. Is there anybody here wish to speak in favor? Name, address for the record first.
Good evening, Jose Luis Azurdia, 170 Medford Street in Malden. In this case, we're looking to install a joint-on pole on Lewis Place. I believe this is for a street light that's going there. I think it's a project for the city. So this is a customer-driven project. Thank you.
Just take your seat, sir. Anybody here wish to speak in favor? In favor or in favor? Go ahead. Name, address for the record, please.
Bob Blaney, I reside at 18 Lewis Place. This would be the pole that's 25 feet down. I only have 2 concerns, and that's that the pole, when you replace it, put it back where the original pole was, which is 3 feet to the west. It'd make it so much easier for us to get in and out of our driveway,
Right.
1. And 2, could you give us 24 hours notice? Because it's a very small court, as you know.
Right.
And there's going to be 5 houses that we're not going to be able to get in and out.
I am so glad that you're here because I have my notes ready to mention it as well.
But did Connor already get you?
Yes. Are you paying attention with this? This street is very, very small, and it's really difficult to go in and out of the street. The map is not that helpful. It just say a dark black line. So the confusion now is where it's moving from what pole to that pole. So if you could highlight the 3 concerns before you start with the project, that would be a stipulation that we can do. Do you take notice of what he said?
Court is actually a bottleneck. Okay. What happens is, your original pole is here, okay? This is the one you're going to cistern. The one down here, okay, it needs to move 3 feet. You can't move out into the court, you can't move down because my driveway's right there. And that's where the original pole was in 1983, and they moved it over. So it just has to move that way 3 feet, and I'm happy.
Is that possible? Is there any logistical challenge as far as National Grid is concerned?
Yeah, as long as this request is attached to the actual work requests that we're doing, I don't see an issue with it. I would have to talk to the designer for this job.
Can you please?
And, if he's okay with it, then it should be no issue. Also, if it's not included in the work request, we can generate a new one.
And that includes the 24 hours,
No, so that we can, if we have to.
so they could prepare as well.
The 24 hours notice, I can call.
Thank you.
And let you-
Attorney Lamana, is there the stipulation mentioned, can it just be added to what is applied here?
Correct. I would recommend it to be added, and if for some reason that cannot be adhered to, ask National Grid to come back and explain why and what can be done, if anything, to accommodate the constituents' concerns.
Thank you, Attorney Lamana. Any members of the committee should add that stipulation? What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second? Thank you. With the stipulation of 24 hours notice and moving the pole mentioned, which is 3 feet away from the original pole, is that what it said? Say that again? A move from where it was, yes. Got it, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
3 feet
All
away
set.
from the original location.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you. What is the second?
We have High Street for 472 Essex Street, install conduit from the existing pole to a private property to provide underground service at 472 Essex Street.
Anybody here wish to speak in favor? Name and address, please.
Jose Luis Zerdia, 170 Medford Street, Malden. In this case, this is a customer-driven project. We're looking to install a conduit from an existing National Grid pole over to the private property. This will be providing the permanent underground service for the new building that's going there right now. I believe it's a commercial or residential new building. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody here wish to speak in favor? In favor? Seeing none, the part of the hearing is closed. Anybody here wish to speak in opposition? Opposition? Opposition. Seeing none, the part of the hearing is closed. Councilor Meji Madri, this is your ward.
Yes, thank you. So my
Go back,
only,
sir, to the podium. Jose?
thank you. So my only concern is as long as the road, when it's opened up, is put back the way you
Yes.
found it. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's the wish
Motion
of
to
the committee?
approve.
What's the
Motion
wish
to
of the committee?
approve.
Approve.
Second.
Second, saying aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The third one, Madam Clerk.
Okay. Hanover and North Common Street, beginning at the intersection, install conduit from riser pole number 2 to manhole 8-21.
Okay, let's open this for public hearing. Name and address for the record, please.
Hi, it's Matthew Songer, 45 New Templeton Road, Hubbardston.
Tell us about this project real quick.
This project is to install underground conduits from an existing manhole on the corner of North Common and Hanover to the first pole up on the street, about 55 feet of conduit, to feed secondary from that pole line down to the existing underground secondary network.
Right. Thank you. Just take your seat, sir. We'll finish the public hearing. Anybody here wish to speak in favor? In favor? Seeing none, the part of the hearing is closed. Anybody here wish to speak in opposition? 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 Seeing none, the part of the hearing is closed. I spoke with Councillor Chakoudas. She reviewed the package, reviewed the design and attachments, and she's okay with this. What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve.
Approved
Second.
by Councillor Hogan,
Second.
second by Councillor Medjugorje. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. What's the fourth one, Madam Clerk?
For 189 Alley Street, beginning at intersection of Alley and Shepherd Street, to install conduit from pole number 39-0 to private property to provide a permanent overhead to underground siphon service at 189 Alley Street.
Name and address, please.
Jose Luis Azurdia, 170 Medford Street, Malden. In this situation, we're looking to install conduit from an existing pole. We're going to excavate 5 to 10 feet on the sidewalk over to the private property. This is going to provide a customer service, new service at 189 Alley Street. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll finish the public hearing. Anybody here wish to speak in favor? In favor? Say none. The part of the hearing is closed. Anybody here wish to speak in opposition? Opposition? Opposition. Seeing none, the part of the hearing is closed. Councillor Fred Hogan, this is your ward, sir.
Absolutely, same thing. I would like everything to return to its original form, especially if they're going to a sidewalk. If it's a concrete sidewalk, I want concrete back and not asphalt. That's a stipulation I want to put in there to make sure that that's done the right way.
You got that, sir?
Yes, I relayed to the contractor that the concrete sidewalk must be replaced in kind.
Yes.
So I'll just reemphasize that tomorrow morning. I'm going to give him the update on today's meeting. So I'll let him know that you're okay to do that as long as you replace.
One more question. When are you starting?
He would like to start that next week, but I can get a date and I can
All right,
call
you have my phone number, so you can call me with that date, and after the project's done, I'll do a follow-up, and I'll check out the area also.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You have his phone as well.
Yes, he does.
All right.
You call me Friday.
Okay.
What is the wish of the committee?
Motion approved.
Second.
Second by Councillor Medjugorje. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The last one.
The last one is a Comcast petition for 98 Willow Street, starting at existing Comcast vault, excavating to place conduit.
Sir.
Good evening, Dave Llewellyn, Comcast, 9 Forbes Road, Woburn, Mass. Would like to speak in favor of the Comcast petition to place 18 feet of conduit for the purpose of providing service to number 98 Willow Street.
Thank you. Let's finish the public hearing. Anybody here wish to speak in favor? In favor? Saying none, the part of the hearing is closed. Anybody here wish to speak in opposition? 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 Seeing none, the part of the hearing is closed. I spoke with Councillor Chakoudas as well. She reviewed and she gave me the go signal for this. What is the wish of the committee?
Motion approved.
Councillor Hogan, second.
Second.
Second by Councillor Medjugorje. All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have new and old business, Madame Clerk?
No new business.
What is the wish of the committee?
Motion adjourned.
Adjourn, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, I don't.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joel Matul. I'm the Ward 2 City Councilor. I want to thank everybody for being here this afternoon. We are gathered here today to honor Team Blackout from the Lynn Special Olympics, who for winning the season division and going to the state finals. So let's give them a round of applause to start, please. In a minute, I'm going to ask you to come up, but I want you to know that from the Lynn City Council, you make us proud. We are honored for everything that you do in the city, and the Lynn City Council acknowledges your accomplishments, dedication in community, and overall excellence. Thank you for being an inspiration to everybody. On behalf of our grateful and proud city, today we will bestow these official citations to you. Before I call you up, I'm going to ask our mayor to say something. So let's welcome Mayor Nicholson.
Thank you, Councilor Matul. Good evening, councilors. Thank you for having us. It is my honor, on behalf of the City of Lynn, to congratulate the Lynn Special Olympics team for the victory of the season division and winning second place at the state. I know how much work and practice and sacrifice goes into creating these opportunities for yourselves and for one another, and just the tremendous sense of achievement that you all have brought to yourselves and to your families and to this entire city. The City of Lynn is incredibly proud, and on behalf of all our residents, I want to say congratulations. I also just want to give a special shout out to all the coaches and the volunteers and the organizers and the players themselves. Everyone I know works hard to put on these types of opportunities, and we appreciate everything that you give the city. It goes a long way in serving as an inspiration for the whole community. So thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna invite Coach Daleen to come up to the podium so that, or Coach, sorry, I don't know your name. Coach Steven to call the players, and then we're gonna ask them to please make a line here so that we can take a picture with everybody. And I'm gonna invite my colleagues in the City Council and school committee members to join us for a picture after.
Yeah, first of all, thank you guys all again for your support throughout the season. We had our first ever Jamboree right here in Lynn, which brought in teams from all over the North Shore. So hopefully we continue to do those things and shine those type of lights on Lynn as a city and community. But super proud of these guys. I mean, they work year round. They play basketball. They're doing track and field now. We have softball. We have soccer. We have flag football. So they stay busy, and this is a big part of their kind of full lives, to be honest, right? So they're working part-time, they're playing part-time, and then a lot of them also volunteer, whether that be at the food pantry, whether that be on Friday nights, or whether that just be as advocates for younger kids to have the same opportunity as them. And then also really, really big shout out to their peers. Some of them are here, but the St. Mary's girls hockey team also helped us do our first ever skating event. So it's really collaborative kind of initiatives like that make this possible and make it more inclusive, honestly, as a community, whether it be on or off the field. But first, I want to introduce Bata Williams. Next up, we have Jacob.
Steven,
You're going to go right up.
Thank you, sir.
help them get their citation.
Awesome.
Dom, you're going to come right up here, okay?
Yep, come up that way.
And then we'll come right back down.
No, all right.
Dom.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Siamari. Anthony. John, who also plays for the New England Revolution Unified team.
So bad over here.
And then this young woman over here is the local program coordinator for over 30 years. She's a Hall of Famer for Special Olympics Massachusetts.
Darlene!
And she truly is a champion of inclusion and advocacy for people with special needs. Again, thank all you guys for your support. It's really important that these kids and these young men and young women that we have on our team and in our program are seen and heard, and they share the same space as everybody else. Because together, inclusion is honestly possible, and
That's right.
it makes for a better community, a better school, and a better city overall. So thank you guys again. We're going to take some pictures, so you guys stay right here and smile.
That's, and smile. Cheese. I'm proud of y'all. Oh, shoot. Don't go.
Congratulations again, and thank you, everybody.
Look to that stain right there. I love that.
Thank you, members of the council. It's, again, with great pride that as the only alumni from St. Mary's, I stand before my colleagues here to welcome back the wonderful school from Tremont Street for their 17th consecutive year.
Wow.
St. Mary's High School, a small school on Tremont Street, has won at least one state title in the state of Massachusetts. And I think leading that charge, is the St. Mary's girls hockey coach, Frank Paliuca, who's been a part of 3 or 4 of those state titles, Coach? 3? How many state titles? 6? 6 state titles. Boy. 6 state titles for the girls hockey team. Amazing.
Division 1.
Division 1. Yeah, thank you, Councilor Hogan. Division 1 state hockey titles. So it's my honor to be here with my colleague Brian LaPierre to present citations to the team, along with my colleagues on the council, members of the school committee that are here, or the general public, and I invite Mayor Nicholson to share some remarks. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor Field. Thank you, Council, for having us. On behalf of the City of Lynn, it is my honor to congratulate the St. Mary's girls hockey team for Division I state championship. Hockey is a challenging sport. It's a fun sport. It takes place on a surface that I have no business being on. I'm not a great skater, and so I have a lot of admiration. And I know that a state championship is indicative of years and years of dedication to a sport. Early ice times, from the time many of you were learning to skate through today, sometimes in cold, unforgiving venues, far commutes. You've put a lot of yourself into this journey, and to be able to celebrate it with you today is truly an honor. And all along the way, of course, were your family, your friends, your supporters, your teachers, your coaches who made all that possible, and I want to congratulate them as well. I think it's particularly special and emblematic to me of the power of sports to hear that the group that we just recognized had the opportunity to skate with you all, that you all created that special moment to be able to share your passion and to make your passion inclusive and the kind of the values that we really try to uphold here in the city of Lynn. And so that makes tonight to me just a great example of what this city's all about, for you all to have created those opportunities and shows what winning looks like, not just on the ice, but in life itself. So congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. And it's with honor I invite Coach Baliuka up here to announce the members of the team. Coach, thank you. Congratulations, Coach. Well done.
First off, I'd like to thank the council and the mayor's office for having us here on this special day. Especially, we got to share this with our group here, with the kids that did the inclusion skate a couple weeks back. It was a great experience, and one of the important messages that we like to send in our program is to give back. Any way we can give back to the community, on and off the ice, to be inclusive, to be part of the fabric of the community, not just on the ice, but more importantly off the ice. That's the main message that we send. So just to be here with that group, special group, and our special group makes the night even better for us. So thanks again for having us, and want to give one more round of applause to both athletes. Groups of athletes, I should say. I didn't know I was going to speak tonight, so I'm a little off here, so just give me some chance to work out the kinks, but I'll be fine as we move along. First off, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge two of our assistant coaches here. Both Lynn natives, both played at St. Mary's, both have come back after playing college hockey, and they're in their real lives and professional lives to make the sacrifices it takes to coach. Ashley Wojciechowski and Tatiana Doucette. Thank you. So we're going to start, just going to go right down the list here. Number 1, Gianna Trignali. Why don't you come up, please? You were first. I had to go with you. Number 2, Addie Markiewicz. Audrey Zink, number 3. Dee Dee McCarron, number 6. Katie Saracen, number 7. Probably should say the number first, but I'm going to go with this format here. Number 8, Regan Sullivan, one of our captains this year. Number 9, Camden Driscoll. Number 10, Naomi Invigilista, excuse me. Number 11, Vanessa Hall. Number 16, Allie Palmer. Number 17, Captain Casey Litwin. Number 18, Bella Freitas. Number 19, Kira Toomey. Number 24, Alyssa Norton. Number 25, Albie Malcutt. And finally, number 30, Megan Donato. Two coaches can come on up as well. Don't be shy. Let's give one more round of applause to the St. Mary's girls.
All right, any colleagues from the city council or school committee, if they want to come up here, and if the girls can just squeeze right in so that I know the parents that are waiting in the rear can come forward to take as many pictures as they want.
Get a scrunch.
They show me the video.
One way to get this.
He is something else, this guy.
Locked in. Me? Shut the doors.
Ready? To call the council meeting for Tuesday, April 23rd to order. Roll call, please.
Counsel Arlensug.
Present.
Present Counsel Chakutis.
Present.
Present Counsel Field.
Present.
Present Counsel Hogan.
Present.
Present Counsel LaPierre.
Present.
Present Counsel Matul.
Present.
Present Counsel McLean. Absent. Counsel Meany.
Present.
Present Counsel Meji Madre.
Present.
Present Counsel Net.
Present.
Present Counsel Walsh.
Present. Just for a point of information, Councilor McLean is on a scheduled vacation tonight. So will we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence?
Please keep in mind the family of John Pavia.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We accept the minutes from April 12th. We have a motion to accept the minutes of April 12th.
Motion to accept.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Communications.
We have mayoral appointments. Dear councilors, I am hereby appointing the following members effective immediately. To the Historical Commission, Calvin Anderson, 12 Concord Street. His term will expire February 24th, 2026. Wendy Joseph, 36 Rockaway Street. Her term will expire February 24th, 2026. Paul O'Leary, 20 Roanoke Street. His term will expire February 24th, 2025. And Christine Greeley, 16 River Street. Her term will expire February 24th, 2025. Appointments to the Public Arts Commission, Cindy Rodriguez, 16 Newhall Street. Her term will expire January 24th, 2026. Michelle Richardson, 29 Lafayette Park. Her term will expire January 24th, 2025. And Aren Dijon, 132 Bass Point Road in Nahant. His term will expire January 24th, 2025.
It's the wish of the council.
Motion approved.
We have a motion
Second.
approved. We have a second. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Anybody here tonight from any of these appointments? I think Calvin Anderson's here.
Well, since it's a slow business night, I saw the agenda. Calvin Anderson, I'm grateful for Mayor Nicholson. He's the fourth mayor that found me at least worthwhile in some way to add to the table of the city. And I want to take this this opportunity to just say that we've been languishing at less than the ideal number of commissioners on the Historical Commission for several years. And ideally, the number magic is always 7 to 11 members, never an even number, so that you can always never have a tie. But we've been languishing at 5. We're about to get up, hopefully, to 7. But they're still looking for applications. Point person Sarita Ago in the mayor's office, and if you have trouble navigating the website to make out an e-application, just give her a call, because we're focusing on getting this body back to full strength through the summer and kicking off with the traditional significance awards that we put on pause for until after September. So I want to introduce two. I just met him, Paul O'Leary, one of your new appointees.
All right. Well, we thank everybody for their commitment to the city and for signing up, and thank you. Public hearings.
We have the petition of Crown Castle Fiber LLC to replace the antenna and shroud on a light pole at 19 Garland Street.
Anyone wishing to speak in favor on this issue? You come on up to the podium, give us your name.
Good evening. My name is Anna Simashka. I'm with Crown Castle, petitioner for that upgrade on the small cell.
Okay, all right. Just give us a second if there's any questions. Thank you. Anyone else want to speak in favor? Anyone else want to speak in favor? Anyone in favor? Seeing none, that part of the hearing is closed. Anybody in opposition to this? come on up to the podium, give us your name and address.
Paul Theo, 22 Garland Street. And what are they replacing? What is Crown Castle replacing?
If you could, through the chair, though, you got to talk with us. Come on up to the podium. Yep.
So we're going to be upgrading the cabinet that is...
You got to speak into the microphone so everybody can hear. Yep, please. Yep.
We're going to be upgrading the cabinet that is currently on the hall, and we're going to be upgrading the antenna as well.
So, I am against the upgrade of this antenna. I last spoke with the attorney to Crown Castle in our last town meeting, and I asked him what the power level of the existing 4G tower was, and this tower, they just basically installed it without anyone on the street being notified in advance as to the location of this thing. It is located right in front of my neighbor's child daycare. It's right in front of his house, and he has children there. And I asked the attorney to Crown Castle at the last meeting, I asked him, what power density level is this 4G tower putting out? And are we in harm's way? And he said, he made the assertion that this tower is deemed safe by the FCC to within 4 feet, and that transmissions of radio waves and its subsequent radiation will be harmless and deflected to harmless levels as it passes through the walls of your home. My question to you is, with the new 5G tower, what size is it? What power density level is it? What frequency is it running at? And is it going to be safe for the children in the home, which is right in front of that tower? This is home. That's a child daycare center, and it was a child daycare center way before that tower was put on that pole. Yeah, you can.
So if you could answer that to the podium through the chair, though, okay, please.
So I was not there for the previous upgrade. Obviously, I'm just kind of new to this. We can provide you the report that says it's still within safe distance.
You got to speak into the microphone. Look at me when you're speaking. So
Yeah.
there you go.
We are making sure, again, we are within the FCC regulations, including the distance requirement from everything. That includes childcare, which we also take very seriously. I can provide you the report with the new distances and everything, with the frequencies and everything, all that fun stuff. I was just not prepared for that question today.
Okay.
Looking at this, I can tell you that this is very safe. Again, this is going to be antenna is going to be just a little bit bigger than this one, which you can see. This is a safe distance.
Sorry, I got to kind of swap in and out so we can, you need to talk to me. I know it's kind of weird, but you got
When I asked the last fella from Crown Castle, and I said, what is that 5G tower? What size is that going to be? He said it was probably going to be around 4.5 feet and about this big in diameter. And I'm very concerned because you have already a numerous number of fans to cool this hardware down. And I purchased an acoustimeter, and I walked around the street and checked the radiation levels around this pole. I mean, there is a near field and far field type of distance that actually this thing is registering at, quadruple the amount of power than it does just a small walk down the street. So, I mean, has the FCC or the Crown Castle or anybody done any kind of long-term studies as to the health effects for cancer, brain cancer, brain development of children, any of that kind of stuff? Has any of it been done by them?
I can only attest that this is within FCC, and the only equipment that is emitting any sort of radiation, that is radio frequency for that matter, is this little antenna up on top. That is correct. It's going to be 4 feet in height, and I believe it's going to be 14 inches in diameter, 14.6, if I recall correctly. So this one does not emit anything. It's just a fan, basically some radio heads and all that fun stuff. I can only tell you that the reports I've seen is this is safe as far as we know. That's the extent of my knowledge at this point.
Thank you.
My fear is that down the road, they're gonna determine that 5G is definitely harmful to people's, especially like fetuses, I mean, pregnant woman's, undeveloped child's brains, and they're gonna say that this stuff might be long-term cancerous to, people that are more susceptible. He lives in this house right here, and he's not even feeling well now, just living right there. I just freaking out from the headaches that I was getting, and of course, I went down a rabbit hole and started looking into it, and they're like, oh, well, there might be maybe mold in your walls, and then the radiation emitted from these things could possibly cause the mold in your walls to erupt into a mycotoxin explosion that happens to travel through your home, and it may have nothing directly correlated to it, but it's indirectly now impacting people's health in their house. So just because I wasn't feeling well sleeping in the bedroom, which is, when I open that window, that tower is right in front of our window and right between his house and my house. I then took the bedroom, brought it to the dining room, and I've been inconvenienced by sleeping in a dining room, which I feel a lot better now. But I've had to do that for 4 years because of that tower. And the only thing I could think of was it must have been that tower, because it was the only difference between when I started feeling off and not was when that tower was installed. But I'm like, all right, well, maybe it's in my head. But I'll let my neighbor talk about what he's been.
Up to the podium.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn Martinez. My English is not too well. You have anybody speaking Spanish here that can translate?
Yeah.
Councilor Matul.
Please.
Do you want to?
Yes, stay there.
Can I just speak from there? Do I have to go to the podium?
Whatever you want to do, whatever you're comfortable with, we appreciate it.
Yo le voy a traducir, usted dígalo en español y yo se lo digo en inglés.
Ok. Sí, quiero hacerle saber a la ciudad de Lynn, ¿verdad? Porque la situación que he hablado con mi vecino, que me ha explicado la situación.
So he wants to let the city of Lynn know about what's happening. He spoke with his neighbor, and his neighbor told him the situation that he's in.
En poco tiempo, hace un tiempo que me estoy sintiendo no muy bien, no puedo dormir bien y tengo otro problema de salud que aún todavía no tengo exactamente el resultado de lo que va a hacer.
¿Cómo cuánto tiempo tiene que no puede dormir bien?
O tengo ya más de 6 meses, más de un año, casi que no duermo bien.
So from about 6 months to a year ago, he started not feeling well. He can't sleep properly. And now he's developing other sicknesses that he's having his doctor look into.
Y uno de los problemas principales de la radiación es que da insomnio.
One of the issues that radiation gives is that you can't sleep.
Insomnio, yeah. Y tengo, como le dije, un problema de salud que todavía no tengo exactamente el resultado final de lo que va a ser.
He also has another health issue which he hasn't gotten the full results for yet.
Pero me dijeron que podía ser cáncer.
But he was told that it might have to do with cancer.
So yo quiero que la ciudad tome en cuenta la presencia de nosotros hoy aquí.
So I want the city and the city council to take our presence here today into account.
Para hacerles saber que no estamos de acuerdo con el trabajo que quieren hacer en el frente de mi casa.
To let you know that I, along with my neighbors, were not in favor of what they're trying to do in front of our house.
Gracias.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition to this? Anyone in opposition? Seeing on that part of the hearing will be closed. What is the wish of the council? Councilor Lingsung.
So I went to the area. I also have some few questions to ask. I observed this pole. This pole is in between Ward 3 and 4. I believe your daycare is located across the street, so that's Ward 4. My question is, so the pole, there's an antenna on top of that. Are you going to remove that antenna and replace the new one?
That is correct, yes.
That's okay. That's number one. Number two, how many projects you have, similar projects you have in the whole city of Lynn?
That is correct. This is the first one. We are bringing there a few other ones that we were considering of bringing to the city of Lynn.
So that will change drastically my opinion about this then.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first one. Because that boils down to the concern, health concern of my constituents about this. What will happen if we're not going to approve this? What will happen? So you will not be developing a 5G service to the constituent who sign up for this? What other alternative you can do?
I can just take this back to my engineering group and to our customer, which is T-Mobile in this case.
Right.
And I believe T-Mobile and Verizon may be also co-located there as well.
Right.
And just seek their direction, what they want to do.
I just want to make sure, because there's a lot of miscommunications out there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know if your organization, your company has the data that supports their concerns, that could say if this is cancer related or so on and so. We cannot deny the fact that technology is out there. Mm-hmm. There's cancers everywhere. Whatever you do, you go out, there is. But I just want to make sure that you have that data to support, so my constituents would be comfortable moving forward.
Well, yes, we do run our reports, and we do have the research department as well that addresses those concerns, because we are using that technology as well, and we want to make sure we are safe, constituents are safe, and we are getting the service. 911 service or whatever it needs to be on those towers.
So do you have that available in case
I can provide that.
ask
That is-
that?
I can provide it.
Mr. President, I would like to motion to table this until all the necessary requirements needed and satisfaction coming from the residents in the area. I would also like to talk to Councilor Meji Madri to see if we can have joint conversation with the neighborhood across the street.
So we have a motion to table.
Second.
We have a second, non-debatable. Roll call.
Counsel Alensog?
Yes to table.
Yes. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field?
Yes to table.
Yes. Counsel Hogan?
Yes to table.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Table.
Yes. Counsel Matul?
Yes, to table.
Yes. Counsel McLean absent. Counsel Meany?
Table.
Yes. Counsel Meji Madre?
Yes to table.
Yes. Counsel Net?
Table.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes to table. We're tabling, and we can have the information with the council, so you
I will
can try
reach
to get that out, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Next public hearing.
We have a home rule petition amending Chapter 58 of the Acts of 2018 in Section 6-11 and 10-3 of the Lynn City Charter.
We have- Jim, do you want to speak about this? Come on up, give us an overview.
General, this was a home rule petition that was advocated by the mayor's office that would create a division of capital planning under Michael Bertino, would take some duties away from the chief of inspectional services that's in charge of facilities inspections in the health department. I defer it to other city officials as to the merits of the home rule petition.
Okay, all right, thank you. Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Come on up, Mr. Tebow from the mayor's office.
Good evening, councilors. Thank you for having me here this evening. Before you is a home rule petition, which would amend the city's charter in order to establish a capital projects unit and change the requirements to fill the position of deputy building commissioner. 3 times now, the city has been unable to fill the position of deputy building commissioner due to the requirement of needing to be certified as a building commissioner with the state of Massachusetts. We're seeking to remove this stringent requirement, which is unnecessary, as the ISD chief is a certified building commissioner and not needed to find someone qualified for the managerial and supervisory functions of the role. Regarding the capital projects unit, the city has extensive capital needs, which currently fall under the inspectional services department. Our buildings are aging, half of our schools are over 100 years old, and the cost to maintain them continue to increase, as do the complexities of this projects and solutions. This unit, which would be located under the CFO, would be dedicated to researching, designing, planning, and overseeing these projects totaling $25,000 or more in order to ensure their successful completion. The projects unit, the capital projects unit, would be made up of 2 existing project managers and a team leader, and would handle all planning and communications for the projects within the schools and city departments. Because much of the work of this unit would fall under the school department, most of this spending would count toward the city's contribution to net school spending. As such, we would expect this proposal to be close to budget neutral for the city's budget. While we have come a long way towards financial stability, the steps to maintaining a robust capital plan require a strong team capable of attaining grants to coordinate, plan, and execute the city's capital program. The projects currently before the city, including the Pickering Middle School, are complex, extremely important, and time-sensitive. The streamlined focus of this capital projects unit would allow the team to concentrate on these initiatives solely. The mayor has talked extensively with the council president about the opportunity to undertake a charter review this year, and we've engaged the Collins Center at UMass Boston in order to provide technical support to the review committee during this process. While we're excited for the work of the Charter Review Committee, we view this unit as critical to the operational and fiscal well-being of the city, and therefore its establishment cannot wait while this civic process plays out. Finally, at this time, we feel that determining where the duties and responsibilities of the planning board should be located is something better suited to be part of the charter review process, and would respectfully request that Section 3 is struck from the homeroom before you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Have a seat. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Seeing on that part of the hearing is closed. Anybody in opposition? Come on up, Jeffrey.
Honest to God, right? The whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. It sounded like, I'm not asking for feedback, an inference about building inspections in that office. Well, I was at a meeting with the council in that room in there. What did they call the room where the big table is?
We used to have the committee's room there.
Okay, in the committee's room. And it was an official meeting, and I am going to state this. I would appreciate no answer back from any of the people, because the compliment, Mr. Cowdell got up and spoke. It was the building across from Thousand Hills where the farm was, and he said we did not issue any permits from this building whatsoever to build that building. And Attorney Lamanna also spoke, and he said from our office we don't determine any permits were ever issued. In other words, that building was built without anything to do with the city of Lynn. And the twin building that has the exact same construction materials, just about all cement, all right, in another state during the construction, in a totally different state, the same exact twin building collapsed and people died. And Mr. Procopio was down there. I went there himself, and he said, I'm telling you right now, Jeff, I can't, and he owns the company, even do anything about this. So any kind of inferences with the kind of things going on right now with construction workers running around at will all over the country and building, they're not going to pin it on our inspectional service department or anybody else until someone's able to find out nationwide how they're doing this. And you know, it has to be done really well by real professionals, that including, you know, ABC, NBC, CBS, et cetera, all over the country, so they can figure out how to solve it. I'd be done. We're going to see Pin the Tail on the Donkey go on, and God forgive me, I mean it, in our Lynn City Hall over this stuff going on.
All right,
Please.
Thank you.
I mean it. Honestly, I took an oath under God.
I know you did. We'll speak to Mr. Cotto. Thank you. Anyone else in opposition? Anyone else in opposition? Anyone else in opposition? Seeing on that part of the hearing is closed. What is the wish of the council? Councilor Jacutis.
I'd like to make a motion to strike proposed Section 3 from the home rule petition, which would have eliminated the duties relative to the planning board from the duties of the chief of inspectional services.
So the motion to accept, but striking that section out of it.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Oh, I'm sorry, I got to back up. We have a letter in opposition I forgot to read that if we don't read it, I will be in trouble for, I guarantee. So we're going to make sure we read that.
Sure. The City Council, I am opposed to this change to the charter. The city has a long history of using a home rule petition while ignoring the will of the citizens. In 2018, Section 5-6 was repealed. This took away any say the citizens might have regarding debt and debtness. Basically, the City Council was given a blank check. I and many others spoke out against this. A few years later, a home rule petition was used regarding employee residency. Section 8-1B states, "The City Council shall provide in the years ending in 4 for a review of the charter by a special or standing committee of the City Council and 4 persons to be appointed by the mayor. The Joint Committee shall file a report within the said year recommending any amendments or revisions deemed necessary or desirable." The charter was last reviewed in 1994. The charter is long overdue for a review. This year ends in 4 and nothing has been announced yet. 1/4 of the year has passed. The changes in this home rule petition are for the most part organizational changes, except for Section 7 and 8, as advertised on 4/10/2024. Section 7 is changing the qualifications for the ISD department head. The charter currently states shall be preferred to have a Bachelor of Science degree in architecture or engineering or 5 years of similar experience in the supervision of staff, to possess experience in the supervision of inspectional staff. The 5th sentence will be replaced with, "and shall be preferred to possess experience in the supervision of inspectional staff." This change is eliminating qualifications. Why is this being changed? Is it because there is a candidate that is being considered without the current qualifications? Section 8 is confusing. It reads that the change shall take effect upon passage. Passage on the council level or at the state legislature. These changes, in my opinion, should be reviewed by a committee as is stated in the charter. It's time for the city to include the citizens of Lynn. I am opposed to this home rule petition. Joanne Linder, 302 Linwood Street, Lynn, Mass.
Okay, so we still have a motion,
Motion.
and we have a second. Any discussion on it?
Discussion. Thank you, Mr. President. The fact that we are now talking about charter change makes me very happy. That alone is a good sign. But I just want to make sure that we are not rushing things and answer all the questions from the councilors and even our residents. So I'm always not into supporting wasting money. That's just me. So if I would like to invite John Thibault to answer some of the questions.
Mr. Thibault?
Thank you, John. In the letter sent to us by the mayor, the word capital projects unit was mentioned. To my layman's understanding, are we hiring new staff?
So this unit would be made up of 3 individuals, 2 existing project managers, which reside in ISD currently, and a team leader, which would be a new staff member.
So that will open up new positions for us to hire new staff?
It would open 1 position, essentially.
1 position. And that would be money paid to that position. It's not allocated with a budget for salaries for ISD?
Right. So does the position currently exist and is
Right.
funded under ISD?
Right.
No.
No. Okay. So because the letter itself, there's a lot of language used, like this unit, there's 2 project managers and team leader. You mentioned that. My only concern really is creating positions that we already have staff that could fill in that position easily. Why hiring others? And on top of that, this administration, although I support this administration, loves to getting third-party support groups or third-party. That means us, the city is paying money for us to conduct survey, conduct interview. Do we have no current staff to do that in the city that we have to hire? We have a lot of residents in the city that wholeheartedly would love to render their services for free. Have you guys tapped those possibilities?
Sure. Are you referring to the Collins Center?
Correct.
Right. So, I mean, I think we're always trying to be inclusive of residents who certainly have expertise on certain subject matter. In this instance, we'd be seeking to have the Cullen Center consult, given their long history and expertise, specifically in doing charter revisions. They've helped numerous municipalities across the state, and this is something that we want to make sure that we get right. And so
this is necessary for us to hire them.
Yeah, we think in terms of their expertise, it's important that we undertake this process and get it right, and so we're bringing in to help guide that. And so I think we'll be looking for resident input throughout that process, but we do view this as important to have their.
Good. You answered my important question. That's all, Mr. President. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Council LaPierre.
Well, Councilor Ellingson just prompted another question. Piggybacking on that, is this proposal to be, what's the effective start date, I suppose, if this goes through here at the State House?
Yeah, I mean,
Will it be budgeted in the mayor's FY26 budget is my real question.
I think that it's a good question. I think part of it depends on when it gets passed at the state level. And I think we would probably look to revise, assuming that it.
Like a July 1 start?
Yeah,
that type of thing, are you looking to?
Yeah, that would probably be about the start.
And we'd probably see it in his budget when he proposes that soon.
If everything looks like it's going to.
Okay, thank you.
Progress.
Councilor Meany.
Mr. Tebow, how are you today?
Good evening.
Good. I just, I had a question as far as like a practical matter. So Councilor Chakoudas mentioned that the planning board effect. Can you elaborate a little bit? What, as proposed, without the changes that we proposed, what effect would this provision have on the planning board?
So it doesn't really have any effect on the planning board itself. It has currently the chief of ISD is the liaison for the planning board. So in its current form, what it sought to do is remove that from the role of ISD chief. And we feel that right now, given that we're about to take a charter review, it would be important to reorganize and have those responsibilities, the location of those responsibilities be determined by the charter review.
Would you be taking any responsibilities away from the planning board themselves?
No.
That's all the questions I have.
Okay.
Thanks.
Any other questions, comments? We have a motion. We have a second. Roll call.
Council Allensug?
Yes.
Yes. Council Chakoudas?
Yes.
Yes. Council Field?
Yes.
Yes. Council Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Council Matul?
Yes.
Yes. Council McLean, absent. Council Meany?
Yes.
Yes. Council Meji Madre?
Yes.
Yes. Council Net?
Yes.
Yes. Council Walsh?
Yes. Motion carries. All right.
Mr. President, just for clarity, the motion carried with the stipulations.
Just the stipulations. Thank you. Get with the steps. Yep. Thank you. Any other public hearings? No, right now, hold on, Jeffrey. No, Jeffrey, no. Any other public hearings?
No.
No other public hearings? Any public hearings to be set down?
No public hearings to be set down.
Okay. Committees. Public property. Councilor Chakoudas.
A unanimous vote of the committee, motion to approve.
Is there a motion to approve? We have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, it needs a roll call. Okay, thank you. Is there a motion? Second? Any discussion?
For Monty Road, right?
What?
For Monty Road?
Yes.
Do you want to read that for us? Sorry.
I'll have Janet read
You have
it.
the
She has it in front of her.
Thank you.
Sorry, I gotta find it. Okay. This is regarding 0 Monty Road. Order that His Honor the Mayor may execute a deed transferring approximately 2,600 square feet to John A. Bartlett Jr. and Patricia A. Bartlett for a larger lot parcel as shown as the attached plan, subject to an existing easement. Said conveyance is conditioned upon the buyers paying for all costs to subdivide the portion of the property to be conveyed and all recording fees. The purchase price for the property has been established by the city assessor at $13,200. City of Lynn will not incur any costs associated with this transfer. Conveyed property may only be utilized for accessory structures such as a pool, deck, and/or shed, or in addition to the existing home. All conditions as stipulated in this council order shall be incorporated into the deed and shall be valid for a period of 99 years.
So we have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion on that? Roll call.
Counsel Alanson?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Matul?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel McLean absent. Counsel Meany?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Meji Madre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes. All right, licensing. Councilor Field.
Thank you, Mr. President. Unanimous vote by our committee. I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. We have a
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Ways and Means, Councilor Net.
Mr. President, all unanimous vote of the committee, I make a motion to approve. Thank you.
Okay, will the clerk read the
We
transfer?
have two certified funds, $200,000 to Economic Community Development for the Memorial Auditorium, and $139,388.92 to the library for the FY24 State Aid to the Public Libraries Program.
So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Make a motion.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Counsel Alanson?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Matul?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel McLean absent. Counsel Meany?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Meji Madre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes. Council, was there any emergencies on that?
No, there's no emergency voted, Mr. President.
Thank you. Utilities, Council Arlington.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have 5 public hearings via 4 from National Grid and 1 from Comcast in 4 wards, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a unanimous vote by the committee. Motion to approve.
A motion approved. We have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. You got any old business from anybody?
No old business?
No old business. We have some new business.
Yes, we do.
Council Field?
Thank you, Mr. President. Crash.
Yeah.
Yep. Make a motion to order that His Honor the Mayor is hereby authorized to negotiate and execute a 5-year contract between the City of Lynn and Capital Waste Services, Inc. for trash hauling and recycling services commencing July 1st of this year, 2024, and any and all necessary other documents associated with said contract.
All right, so we have a motion. Do we have a second on it?
Second.
We have a second. Discussion. Council Arlington.
Is this the trash?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Drinking water. Thank you, Mr. President. I have to get my notes. There we go. Thank you. I checked their website. This new company, are we talking about the
Capital.
The Capital?
Yep.
I like that they're also serving cities surrounding our city. I reviewed the graphic comparing capital waste. Money-wise, this is good. We're saving $3 million in the span of 5 years. This is a no-brainer, but I want to make sure, again, that their services is accurate as what waste management is providing. I want to make sure that it's not adding any more fees for our residents. I want to make sure that what will happen to the trash barrels, that waste management, are they providing new ones? Since they're providing new ones, is that an additional fee given to our residents? Those are things that I need to know so that I could comfortably vote if we're voting tonight.
I think we could ask
Anybody could
either
answer this.
Mr. Hall or maybe even Mr. Tebow from the mayor's office could probably explain that.
I just want to, so with regards to the barrels right now, the barrels that the city, city residents have are the ownership of waste management. As part of the negotiations that we've gone through with Capital, they did give us a price on what it would cost to deliver to the city new barrels, and have assured us that that can be done for July 1st, which would be the start of this new contract. I'm sorry, and I apologize, Council. I'm just trying to cover the questions that you had asked.
Any fees, residents?
There will be. I mean, right now the trash fee, as been listed on the website, has gone up to $108. That's inclusive. I mean, that's per year. That is not. That won't change. So in terms of fees for residents, that will not. That won't expect any extra cost to residents.
So there will be no increase for fees or changes of barrels, increased fees?
No, I mean, going forward, as we enter a new fiscal year, if there was a resident that may have leased or purchased an additional barrel, I think that's an annual cost, so that would be an additional fee to those residents that have additional barrels, but there are no increased fees for any.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure that all these things are taken care of and not get so excited because they're cheaper compared to what we have now.
Yeah, I mean, if I could respond, respectfully, we want to make sure that the level of service to our residents is as close to exactly the same as possible, that there's no changes. And I think we've done that through months of negotiations and discussions to ensure that the quality and level of service is maintained.
Yeah, if I could just say, Councilor Field and Jakutis has been on the Trash and Litter Committee, and they've been involved in the back and forth here for a little bit about the trash. So a lot of questions they've got answered also. So I think Councilor Hogan, then Councilor Meany.
John, I have a couple of questions. I understand Capital is a union company.
That's correct.
And what union is that?
It's Teamsters, Local 25.
All right, great. And one more question. Will they have mechanical trucks like Waste Management have, or will it be humans that are doing the trash into the truck?
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of like how the trucks operate currently, it would be essentially the same with the automated. Yeah, automated
All right,
vehicle.
but this is a union company.
It is a union shop. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Councilor Meany.
Yeah, John, just a question real quick. So maybe I wasn't clear to me. Are we swapping out barrels? That is proprietary property of Waste Management. So is that what? Do we have a plan for that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think the days and months that follow will determine that. If there's an option to purchase the barrels from Waste Management, we would seek to do that. If not, we've made arrangements with Capital to provide the barrels to our residents.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we're not having a time span where we don't have any barrels.
Yeah, no. Right now, that would be absolute worst case scenario. And we have, again, part of the expediency for this is we need to get an order in with a barrel vendor, and so that's why we are kind of bringing this to you now. So if we can start to have the conversations about the provision of barrels and what that looks like between the next few weeks and months.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Matul.
Thank you, Thibault. One of the questions I have is right currently, one barrel is not enough for a lot of single-family homes, and 2 barrels are definitely not enough for a lot of two-family homes. Do you know the capacity of the new barrels, or is it going to stay the same, or is it going to be?
Yeah, the size of the barrels would be exactly the same. There is an option for households to purchase the purple overflow bags.
Another thing that I'd like to just bring to the table is the service that we've had with Waste Management. There has not been 1 week when I have not gotten a message or an email about trash barrels flying everywhere, getting broken by when they get picked up, or trash getting thrown out of the barrels. So it's one of the things that I'd like to for the council and you and your team to take into consideration. Make sure that this new company knows that we cannot allow that to happen, because when that happens, we're bringing in more rats, we're bringing in a lot of animals into the neighborhoods. We're making our neighborhoods dirty, so we need to make sure that we hold them to a standard.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's noted, and we want to ensure that there's a quality of life that is maintained for our residents as well that exceeds expectations. So,
all right, Councilor Field.
Thank you, Mr. President. John, I thought at our most recent meeting, one of the important topics, and I don't know if you can discuss it publicly, but I'm assuming you can. It's not just the difference in the $3 million, but part of that was the fee structure, that total from the other bid might increase with increases in salary that would be passed along to the city and not something that the company themselves would absorb. I thought that was probably one of the most important topics that we discussed. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, sure. As part of being, a union outfit, They essentially set prevailing wage for the state. That's something that we've been in discussion with, and they've been able to ensure that those costs absorbed as wages increase year over year is something that won't then be reflected to the city. And the same goes for fuel surcharges as prices change in fuel year over year. That's something that won't be required to be absorbed by the city, or an extra hidden cost that we're unaware of. So, I mean, I think right now the cost savings are great, but the budget predictability is extremely important.
I just want to clarify one thing. So the current provider doesn't have, they could go up on what they charge for whatever the drivers get and
like
people,
John said,
right?
their budget
Right, so
predictability
this is
could
more
increase.
stability, right? This is more, I just want to be clear about the people at home. This is better because we're not guessing what's going to come in the future of the unknown, right?
Right, it's not just less, but there's more stability there, correct?
Yeah, the predictability is
Predictability.
extremely
Thank you.
important for our financial well-being.
Councilor Chakoudas.
I just have a quick question. If we do go with capital, we just have to take in consideration they're coming in, learning new routes, so it's not going to be perfect the first week. We have to just, anywhere you go, starting a new job, it takes time to learn the routes, so we do have to be considerate if we go with them that the routes aren't going to be perfect right away, but once they learn them, we'll be back up to our regular trash pickup.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, I drive a truck for a living. An institutional knowledge of streets and little quirky things make a big difference, especially trying to back into a lot of the streets, even where Council Matoul's area is. I know it pretty well. There's some tight streets there, so I know there's been issues in the past about that. I've been at meetings with the other company in the past about that, so but we got to give them a little bit of slack on it. I think Councilor Madry wants. Yep.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Just a quick question about the additional barrels. How much extra is the fee going to be? Is it the same as waste management charges per barrel?
That's a good question. I don't, right now, are you talking about for an additional barrel for households?
It's like 90 right now.
Right, so it's 132 for the pair, for the recycling and trash.
Okay, and is that an increase for what waste management charged, or the same charge? Okay.
So it will be the same.
And then I guess my other question was, when the barrels are, when they fall apart, when they break and things like that, will there be a program as well to make sure those are repaired?
Right, yeah. The city will be taking on the, I guess, the operation of cart maintenance. And so that's going to be an extra savings that we saw as well. So those, as you know, we'll be developing a plan and process for residents to call in similar to as they do right now to have those carts repaired or replaced.
Great, thank you.
Council Lapierre.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wasn't going to make comments. I had spoken with Mr. Tebow earlier this afternoon. He addressed many of my concerns, but it's such a large municipal issue, I think, facing so many of our cities and towns is the expense of trash, not only the hauling, but the tipping portion of it as well. As many of us may or may not know, the trash itself actually somehow gets to China for shipping and adds to extra burden. We don't even deal with trash in our country anymore. What used to be a public good, I mean, short of that, being able to do our own public trash, I suppose, like, our forefathers envisioned our city to be, I suppose. Seeing it be a Teamster Local 25 with some Lynn residents who may actually be members of that union, I think is a really good step. Also don't want to throw the current provider under the bus because I echo a lot of sentiments. I think Waste Management has done yeoman's work for the last decade with us in terms of their rollout of the totes and just the way in which our streets look over the past decade, how uniform they are, how when you have a barrel that's fully working and has a cover on it, and how aligned the streets look and garbage isn't strewn along our thoroughfares and avenues and dead ends and so forth. I think we've made great gains in this area, but it is a very expensive line item in the mayor's budget that we'll be seeing, I'm sure, and the costs are only going to rise. So I was so pleased when I saw not only are we saving money, again, it's a little apprehensive because we don't know the service aspect of this yet. We're going off of word of mouth, comparable communities. They do represent, their firm represents cities like Boston and Fall River, which are very comparable to the size of Lynn and the needs of Lynn. So I'm cautiously optimistic to give my endorsement to this. Anything new, as Councilor Chakoudas says, is going to have to work out the kinks a bit initially this summer. But I want to point out and raise one of the things that's a savings to residents, John, is the bulky item component. And the comparison of bulky item, in some cases, it's a difference of $10 an item and even more. For example, Capital Waste is going to charge in year one just $20 per item to leave outside and make arrangements through the company to dispose of a sofa, for example, or something like that that you leave out on your regular trash collection day, as opposed to $30 with Waste Management. So that right there, individually for a household, does reap some savings. And those fees do escalate over time. So, for example, at the end of this contract, $36 and close to $36.50 from Waste Management to remove a furniture item, as opposed to $24 for capital in 5 years. Again, a $12 difference to a household that may make or break the week for them. So, you know, I'm pleased at the work that the administration and our council colleagues, Chakoudas and Field, have done on this under your leadership, Mr. President. I know, because I've been in this seat now 8+ years, I understand that we were in a real bind under a former mayoral administration, and Mayor Kennedy did the best she could in terms of extending this contract with Waste Management back in 2016 when we were in a fiscal pinch. And we didn't have any leverage at the table with Waste Management, as you recall, President Walsh, because we served together since 2016, and we didn't have leverage. The mayor at that time had to extend the contract, pay what they said we were going to pay as a city, and see us in 8 years, it turned out to be. So I'm really happy. I'm optimistic. This is a 5-year deal. It locks us in. Trash is only going to go up. It's not going to go down to remove our trash. As I said, we have to rely on outside countries to do that for us. And I think we have finally swung the leverage pendulum back to the city of Lynn, its taxpayers, its residents. It's a union outfit. That means that the wages are going to be consistent, and there'll be overtime privileges and contractual obligations that capital can well afford. And I am going to support this. And thank you, Mr. Tebow, for answering my questions earlier.
Councilor Chakoudas?
Just have a quick statement to make. They did bring Council Field and I into the meeting, but most of the credit goes to Andy Hall and our CFO and to the mayor's office. They did all the negotiating. Brian and I came in at the end, so I don't want to take credit for stuff we did not do.
Okay. All right. Councilor Ellingson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Since clarification, so you're just navigating the system yet. You did not sign any contract. Why am I asking this? Since we're going to move to another company, have the conversation about people leaving their mattresses, is this the same thing as waste management policy? Because this is like a big burden to a lot of the ward councilors, especially if they have that special program to incorporate with this new system. That would be very helpful as well. Another constituent of mine just mentioned this, maybe in your conversation with them about pay as you throw, to be equitable to our residents, because some of our residents who have a big family are also paying the same amount as just a couple of people living in one household. So just something to talk about in the future as well. Okay. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, any other comments? Councilor Net.
Just a quick question. John, have you seen what color they're going to provide color of
the bins?
Yeah, the bins.
You guys. So that's for us to determine the color?
Don't worry, COVID.
Yeah, I think it sounds like it would be our call to determine the colors.
Okay. And right now we have for recycle we have blue and green. So it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be classified the same way.
Yeah. Sounds like it's somewhat negotiable as we go forward. Yeah, if you have any suggestions.
We'll take that comment.
All right. Okay. We find out later.
All right.
Thanks, John.
John, I just had a follow-up question. So which department of the city will be in charge of maintaining the bins?
DPW.
And we would have adequate staffing for that? We're having staffing issue right now with that department.
Yeah, so I think part of the conversation going forward will be kind of establishing a process for that and then determining if we have the capacity or if we need to seek a vendor that would do something like that. And while that might sound like extra cost, the savings that we have through this is going to sort of help determine what will be the best practice going forward.
Okay, thanks.
If I just one thing I want to add to that, I think, is that right now, if I'm correct, Mr. Hall's here, and I spoke with him about when you put in the system or you call, our DPW is already scheduling and making all of those things. That's on us. The one thing that currently isn't is the truck that goes out and replaces the wheels. So a lot of what goes on, probably a lot of people know, scheduling is a big deal. Just getting people on the same page and trying to make sure the barrel's out there and all that. So we already do that part. What we would be looking at is just the physical vehicle that goes out to actually replace the wheel or the lid. Is that right,
Yep.
John?
Okay. That's accurate.
Okay, cool.
Just one more thing. Mr. Hall, would you mind coming to the podium, please? So my concern is with the city maintaining the bins. It's something that we currently don't do. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
So we outsource it. So do we have the skill set, the expertise, the supplies, et cetera? Like, is there, I mean, this could potentially turn into a very big problem that, especially with public health, you really don't want to be messing around like that. So do we have a plan for this?
It depends on whether we roll out new barrels or we acquire the current barrels, the level of effort.
Will we know that before we sign the contract?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
All right. Okay. No other questions? We have a motion. We have a second. Roll call.
Counsel Alanson?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Matul?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel McLean absent. Counsel Meany?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Meji Madre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, carries. We'll be looking, watching very closely. I can guarantee that. Yeah. So I wish you well with that. All right.
Do a good job.
All right. Any other new business? Councilor Field.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have two pieces, one good, one not so good. Let's start with the good, because it's always good to start with good. Happy Earth Day, everybody. I want to, on behalf of Councilor Chakutis and myself and our LITA committee, yesterday we were in every second grade throughout the city, all our colleagues on the city council, joined by our counterparts on the school committee, Mayor Nicholson, Associate Superintendent of Schools, Deborah Giro, and so many others played an important role in our education component for addressing the litter issues, and getting into the schools is a big task. So we did that yesterday. I think a lot of us had a great time, and we look forward to the posters. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that did participate and had any role in this fourth time now. Also, this past weekend,
I was just going to say, we went to the second grades. Why? Because they seem to understand they shouldn't throw stuff on the ground, and everyone else doesn't seem to get it. Right? But second graders can do that. Okay. Want to be clear. Right.
That trash goes in a barrel, and they were surprised that people our age can't figure out how to get that straight.
Exactly.
So we leave it to our second graders across the entire city to ask them to help educate the public, educate their older siblings, educate their families and caretakers. Also, we kicked off our Keep Lynn Clean Saturdays. I want to commend Councilor Hogan for the group that he rallied up to clean up Warren Street Playground, and if there's other volunteer opportunities throughout the spring. I believe this is our 7th season of our Keep Lynn Clean Saturday, so there's certainly an opportunity for everybody to participate. And this is just 10 of many community projects. I know Councilor Matul organized one already at Cook Street that a number of us participated in. So there's these volunteer opportunities that, leading by example, this council's going to, always work together and certainly do just that. So I want to acknowledge everyone that helped.
Okay. Councilor next. Excellent.
Mr. President, on behalf of the Southeast Asian community, I would like to announce that there's a New Year, Cambodian, Thai, Laotian New Year this Saturday at the Lynn Commons. It's a free event. It's going to be wonderful from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Going to be a lot of resources, a lot of food, of course, a lot of entertainments, a lot of performance. So would like to invite everyone to participate in this free event, and so take it's going to be one of the largest events in our city, and I want to thank our city official and everyone who allowed this to happen, and we are so grateful to have this happen every year, and please be there, join us, and have fun.
Yep.
And Happy New Year.
Great time. If anyone's out looking to have a good time, been there, I think, every year since it's been going on, and the food's great.
Right.
Even though we're all on diets, right? We'll talk a little bit about that later.
Salad.
We'll talk a little bit about that later. All right. I think Councilor Field had one more thing.
Thank you, Mr. President. After speaking to Ward 1 Councilor Meany earlier today, I know personally myself and my family, we were away last week, and I know Councilor Meany was as well. And during that vacation, instead of enjoying it, I received multiple messages about the construction on Linfield Street and the way it's being conducted by MassDOT and the notices given and the organization. I mean, people who sit on outside streets. It's embarrassing. And I would ask that the law department draft a letter asking MassDOT to attend our next May meeting to answer some of the questions that we can ask them on behalf of the public. I know it's been painstaking, and I know new construction's not easy, but it's been gridlock throughout the entire city where people can't get across or get to jobs. They can't get to school on time. It's a serious matter, and I ask that the request this motion for the law department to draft that letter to Mass DOT.
So is that a motion? We have a motion.
Motion
We have a
made.
second on that.
Yeah, I'd like to second that.
Council Bean.
Before I'd like to comment. Ward 1, I've heard your complaints. I hear you. We're going to get through this together. It's not going to be easy. We are working on it, and the situation will improve.
Okay, all right. So any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Bring them in. All right. Any other new business tonight? I'm going to have some new business here. I'll talk about this pizza that's in front of us. And people are probably wondering what this is. There was we're all on diets, right? Apparently we're on diets, but came in today and found East Lynn eating pizza in the council room. We have proof, right, Councilor Hogan?
There's a lot of proof.
All right, and then we found out, because we were blaming each other on who sent the pizzas, and then we found out we didn't, right? And whose pizzas were they, Councilor Hogan?
Zosha from ISD, her pizza was taken and delivered to Councilor Obed Matul, and I told him I didn't order the pizza.
Which to I declined multiple times.
But Team East Lynn took it in the back room and took it upon themselves to break their diet, and they ate the pizza.
East Lynn is now known as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Correction. The captain of Team East Lynn said ad nauseum, don't eat the pizza.
So,
As he ate
Well, if they had a real captain like West Lynn, they wouldn't.
all right. We have a little decorum in this place, all right? But with all good fun, I just want to bring that we're still doing this, and we're going to work through it as a team, even though Westland is definitely the better team. But if I could say that from the podium. But I also want to say, Councilor Matul made some shirts for us, right, that we're all wearing tonight, and they have our team, either Team East Lynn or Team Westland. They got our names on the back of it. So if you see any of us eating things we shouldn't, please text Terry or email the council office a confirming photo so we can address that issue for you, or for us.
My family and
Any
myself,
other
we're
new
going to the
business tonight?
YMCA right now, so if anybody wants to join, you're welcome to come.
Any other?
Off the pizza.
Stay off the pizza. Any other business? Council Net?
So if nobody else have anything to say, I make a motion to adjourn.
A motion to
Mr.
adjourn.
President.
Second, all in favor?
Are at Sisson. I did respond to that yes, the plan is to use the lot and remove the modular as part of the land use for the new building. The classroom and office space that is lost as part of the modular will be recreated in the current Pickering building. Another question that was asked, when will the building be built? I responded, it is expected to be ready for fall 2026 if there are no delays in construction. And then a follow-up question, if the building was built, would the old Pickering school be destroyed? My response to that was the plan is not to destroy it, but rather refurbish areas for the use for Sisson School. For example, gym, auditorium, cafeteria. Sisson School does not have those areas, and it would be great if the school could. And then there was another question, what would happen if the process of the building would be delayed due to weather? And I simply just responded that it would just delay the opening, but the work will continue, and we are looking to get students and teachers in as quickly as possible. And then there's a question that I'm not sure how to answer. If the building was if the building was more than 5.8 arches, what would everyone do? I'm not sure what that means.
We're asking for clarification on that question.
In the meantime, if there are any other questions. I think they mean acres. I meant what were to happen.
I can try to answer that. I can say that Steve would be really relieved if he'd had more than 5 acres to work with for the project. The Breeds Reservoir site is a very large site. We are not conserving all of it as part of the mitigation. So we would have included probably whatever was going to be the existing site swap as a 2-to-1 in the swap on the Breeds Reservoir site. So there is significantly more acreage behind what we're conserving on the frontage of the roadway of parkland that can be used for future Article 97 mitigation purposes, or would be in this case.
I get another question.
Come on up.
For clarification, not that we're young enough anymore, but so it sounds like there's still going to be a Magnolia Park here with this basketball court and the play area, right?
Yeah.
But also the reservoir is going to be additional park space?
So at the reservoir, a large portion of the site that we are conserving is the wetland that is behind the dog park. So it's the dog park, the wetland that's behind it, and then there's an upland area where the existing salt shed is, and that's going to be removed. I think once that salt shed comes down, it may turn out to be actually a significantly large open space of grassed area. I don't know that it will be large enough for a regulation rectangle field. I don't think that that's quite possible because of the ledge outcrop that's right behind it. And then it drops off down in the other direction into the wetland, but it will definitely be a place where kids could ride their bike and go and play.
Would Magnolia Park still have a place for the soccer teams to play, or is that not going to be big enough?
It's not going to be large enough for a regulation field. It's actually not right now. It will have some grass areas where the kids will be able to kick a soccer ball around. We intentionally designed the landscape in the Magnolia Park so that there's connectivity between the Magnolia Pocket Park that we are going to put on Magnolia Ave frontage and the school parkland areas. So that grassed area that's over the stormwater system it's actually larger than you think it is. And then multiple playgrounds servicing the schools.
Thank you.
Yes, it's hard to do. So could you expand on the parkland again? So I guess we're losing 2 tennis courts, a basketball court, a couple of baseball fields, and I understand it's not a regulation soccer field, but it's certainly something that folks make use of. And what's being proposed is just the existing salt shed, so that's perhaps going to be open spaces. Is there any tennis courts, basketball courts, baseball fields, or soccer fields going to be placed over there?
Well, just to correct that suggestion at the beginning, so the tennis courts actually exist on school property. They are not on the Article 97 property, so they do not need to be replaced. We have the one Little League baseball field that is a regulation diamond field where we are conserving the baseball field as it is exactly now, and we're not impacting that at all. So that's, you know, the one for one of its own kind. And then the basketball courts are going to be replaced almost in the same location on the frontage. The playground is going to be moved closer to the basketball courts so that the traffic circulates around it. So those two will be replaced in kind. And then the existing open space field, we're going to be trying to retain as much open space as we can in the landscape. And then in addition to that, there'll be more open space over on the Parkland Avenue site. If the city does decide sometime in the future that they want to make improvements to either the dog park or the open land that's next to it once the salt shed comes down, it's absolutely their prerogative.
And with regards to the tennis courts, that's under the purview of the school department, whether they make the community whole by replacing that existing series. You're saying, so it's not under the purview of 97, so they don't have to do it, but the question is whether they should?
It's not I would not even call it a should. I think that that is certainly a valid ask. But it's not going to be a requirement under the MSBA for the school building, and it's not a requirement for the Article 97 disposition.
Thank you.
I received a question. Is the auditorium still being considered as a housing space for some of the Sisson classrooms? If so, will there still be a drama theater program at Pickering? Where will Sisson have their concerts during the building? So first of all, yes, this space will be converted into classrooms, but not necessarily for the Sisson classrooms. They will be middle school classrooms, and Kevin has so graciously allowed us to use other spaces for the Sisson to replace the Sisson classrooms. So we've been working with both schools, Deputy Goris and myself, with both schools' principals to plan out options for both the concerts and drama presentations, as well as the graduation moving on ceremonies. We will be using the gym space while the auditorium is being used for classroom space. Any question? During construction, how will parking for staff at both Pickering and Sisson be handled?
So we do, that was one of the questions from online. So we do have an upcoming meeting in April 23rd. That's going to be a Pickering and Sisson parent meeting at which we will discuss all matters having to do with temporary site logistics, parking, where the kids are going to play, and any other questions that the Pickering and Sisson parents and interested parties might have. So I would encourage them to come to that. I don't have a diagram, but we will definitely have diagrams at that meeting.
There are no additional questions from the webinar at this time.
Thanks for your indulgence. I know this comes up a lot at the PTO meetings. Dr. Gores, could you help us visualize what the classroom space would look like here in the auditorium? So this is going to be converted into classrooms. We understand it's going to be Pickering students here. What's that going to look like?
Steve, you want to speak to that, or?
So it would be temporary. There would be, I think there's 3 classrooms, 2 classrooms, 2 or 3, and an office off of the main points of the stairwell there, so they have access to the rest of the school. We would build temporary partitions and ceilings and everything required for proper education.
So it will be enclosed with ceilings?
Yes.
And then presumably there will be space up front for the kids to use, or is that a different?
To use for...
So if there's 2 classrooms here, and I think one of the concepts or proposals was to continue to allow space towards the front of the auditorium for the kids that are in class.
I think it's using most of the auditorium space for those 2 classrooms and office.
I know that Mr. Donovan has shared with us that the stage and a little portion of the front here will be available, say for like meeting space or small group student work. But the majority of this space will be enclosed classrooms. There also, in the gym, there are some spaces, an office space, and the locker rooms that are being converted as well into classroom space. They're pretty good sized locker rooms, and so those are being converted into space as well. Those classrooms, an office, and I believe 2 classrooms within Pickering, but closest to Sisson, are being used to replace the modular space, which was 4 classrooms and an office.
So the locker rooms you're talking about adjacent to the gym facility?
Yes.
So those are going to be converted into classroom spaces?
Into classroom space, correct.
And those will be for the Sisson students or the Pickering students?
Sisson. We want to keep the Sisson students as close to Sisson as we can.
Thank you.
And as Craig mentioned, we'll have those plans to share with you on the April 23rd.
I have, I think, 2. Is the old Pickering going to still open when the new Pickering opens? Yes and no. I would say that the spaces like the gym, cafeteria, auditorium, when it's brought back to its original state, will definitely be accessible to the Sisson students and families. As far as the remainder of the building, I'm not sure yet how that will be utilized. We have a lot of buildings, as we all know, that need replacing, and so I know that the city and the school department are committed to trying to improve all of our schools, and so as we start the next phase, it could be utilized as swing space to allow for a building to be either refurbished or rebuilt. And then a second question, will the old, oh, it was the same question, never mind. So I answered it.
Does anyone in the public or anyone in the audience still have any questions? This will be last call. Otherwise, you're welcome to reach out to Alex at the MEPA office or comment directly to the MEPA Environmental Monitor, and you can Google that at the EPA Environmental Monitor, and it will pull it up, and you can find the project for the Lynn Pickering School is project number 16805. Submit your comments online there, or you can email Alex, Alexander Strisky at mass.gov.
Sorry, one quick question came in. Sisson is getting new HVAC, and Mike, can you just confirm for me? I'm answering yes, Sisson is getting a new HVAC system this summer. Yes.
No problem. All right, well, thank you. Seeing none, hearing none, thank you so much for coming out. We really appreciate your comments and your feedback and your support for the school. We're looking forward to moving forward with the project. Stay informed on the Pickering website. Stay around tonight for the school building committee meeting. And thank you again for being here. Thank you, Dr. Alvarez. I appreciate it.
Good evening, all. We're going to open up the meeting. April 2nd, Tuesday's Lynn Board of Health meeting. First issue on the agenda is for us to read and approve the minutes of the March 12th meeting. I'm going to give my fellow board members a few minutes to take a look, and then I'll look for a motion to accept. Okay, all right. I'm ready. I'm looking for a motion.
Second that motion.
All those in favor? Aye. Passes. Next issue on the agenda is, I guess we need a board vote to approve the public health director as a health agent. I know we have done that before. What is it, an annual thing we do all the time? Or because you're a new director, we need to do it for you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. This is some standard thing we've done it for, I don't know how many directors I've been with.
It essentially allows me to like do, perform actions on your behalf, like sign forms and things like that. So, and it actually kind of came up as a result of the next thing on our agenda. So I thought, oh, we should probably just have that in place.
Okay, good. So I'm looking for a motion to approve Lisa, the public health director, as a health agent for the city of Lynn.
Make that motion.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay. Lisa, I'm going to turn it over to you. You can explain what we need here for Goodrich and.
So this is my first time dealing with this. So Goodrich notified us that they have unclaimed remains of somebody. So when that happens, when that happens, there's mass CMRs that you need to follow. They need to request the Board of Health to sign off on a cremation form so that they can cremate and bury. So I wanted to get, I know that Michelle previously had always brought these before the board, yeah. So I wanted to do the same. I wanted to put it on this board meeting to have it in place. I'm not comfortable signing it yet. I don't feel like I've seen what I would consider proper notice to any next of kin. I see some emails, but I'd kind of like to see like a formal letter, like certified letter said that's returned back or something. But I just want to, I figured while we were here, that way, I also felt kind of bad thinking that, you know, someone's.
But you still can get a vote from us for the authority, and then you do whatever
Correct.
you got to do with the authority.
Correct.
Okay, so we're looking for a motion to approve Lisa being a health agent on behalf of the city.
I thought we just did that.
Yes, and then the next one to be allow me to sign the cremation form.
Oh, you need a motion for that too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But if we make you the agent, you can, right?
Yeah, but I still, yes, I can, I could do it without you knowing, but I still think because it's on the agenda, it's the first time we're doing
Oh,
it.
so
Yeah.
just for this specific form.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the Goodrich funeral.
For this particular person, yes.
Okay. So yeah, I make a motion for that.
I second that.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, it's the good stuff now. All right. The Public Health Week events.
We are having an awesome week so far. Like a really, really, really great week. I don't know if you guys saw the big flag that's hanging in the front of the building. We had a great walk yesterday. It was a little windy. We had an event today with 20 tables. I mean, the foyer was just rocking. Lynn Disability Network was here today with the sensory room. I can't say enough good things about the work that these guys have done to put this together. And not only do I think that, I think everybody who's coming to the events is thinking that. You know, we had the kids from Fecht O'Leary walk with us yesterday. Nice. We had the essay winner read her winning essay. It was, it's great. We're looking forward to the next couple of days. So yeah.
It's new motions. It's new life.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, it's just it's exciting, and it's nice to see like the community be excited about it as well. So yeah.
And hopefully, as we go on and do it every year, it'll grow and get more and more.
Bingo.
Reach out to more people get involved.
Bingo, bingo.
So the goal is to be able to fill the auditorium, right?
Yeah. But I mean, even down to like reaching out to the chief librarian and her putting together like just a list of books, like curated books, like, you know, just little things, but just putting it across the city to like any part of what happens. Yeah, exactly. Great. Yeah, it's been great. It's been great.
It's great. Okay. You all set with the discussions on that? You have anybody else they got to?
Does anybody want to add anything about Public Health Week so far? No.
So far, so good. I guess.
Okay.
I like, are these new like shirts?
Yes, we talked about we're going to get them for you guys.
I like the patch of Lynn.
Yes, so we're actually, everybody has bought into it, and we're all wearing our Public Health Week clothes this week, so when we're at these events, people can identify us.
We probably could sell those patches. People came.
Seriously, they look awesome.
Seriously. They buy those, people sell those, all fishing all kinds of patches all the time. Might be something.
We will send you a link so you guys can pick out whatever you might prefer to wear. Like everybody's got a little something different on, so whatever you find most comfortable, we'll let you get something.
Cool. Okay. We're going to do the community health presentation now? Okay.
Yep, so as you guys know, we did the health assessment. I know you guys looked at it. This is the presentation that we have put together that we want to put on the road. Speaking of road, we will have to send you a copy of the flyer for the public health van. I can't even begin to tell you like how amazing the public health van looks.
In the parking lot or something.
Did you see it in the parking lot on Johnson Street?
No, I said I'm surprised it's not a parking lot now.
Oh well, we snuck it out of the dealer to have it make a surprise visit for yesterday. We have to bring it back to have it finished on the inside. It is amazing. It's amazing. It's just
Health on wheels.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you can't miss it.
So we are happy to present you some highlights of this assessment with the qualifying statement that when assessing need, we expect to find data that could be construed as negative or poor. We review the CHA data and metrics as opportunities. Opportunities to uplift and support our residents, to deliver needed services, where and how they are needed, and to help a new generation of Lynners have better outcomes than the previous generation. So some background information on the community health assessment. In 2021, the Lynn Public Health Division, with the support of the American Rescue Plan Act dollars, applied for funds to conduct an assessment to better help the city of Lynn determine the health needs of all the residents. This is Lynn's first community health assessment. And in collaboration with the Metropolitan Area Planning Council, various methods of data collection were used to create the community health assessment. So a community health assessment, or CHA, is a systematic process to explore the health status indicators for a given population. It is used to identify assets and key issues in the community. Community health, or public health, is not just the presence or absence of illness, but also the assets and protections that support resident well-being and resiliency. Post-pandemic, public health departments across the country are reimagining how to deliver traditional public health services while also addressing the social determinants of health that we recognize as factors in health outcomes. And as we turn to a more holistic look at public health, social determinants of health, the conditions in which people are born, work, live, and age, show us that a person's zip code has become a predictor of an individual's health. So the community health assessment is broken down by the introduction, the Lynn health profile, health priorities, and the 5 appendices. So looking at the first health profile, chronic disease, Lynn residents are more likely to live with chronic diseases than those in general in Essex County and in the Commonwealth, with Lynn at 11% and the Commonwealth at 9%. A greater percentage of Lynn residents are living with high blood pressure, heart disease, and diabetes than the Commonwealth. These chronic conditions have their root in social and environmental conditions that can limit, influence, or dictate health behaviors. Health outcomes describe the consequences of disease, injuries, and other conditions that people live with and experience. Lynn residents experience health outcomes that led to lower life expectancy or a greater likelihood of passing away from a health issue, for example, heart disease. Health behaviors describe how people can lead their lives and the actions they take, which can help or harm their health or the health of those around them. Examples include people's diets, exercise, and use of alcohol or drugs. Health data suggests that Lynn residents are physically active as those across the state. However, the data also suggests that a greater percentage of Lynn adults smoke and get insufficient sleep at a higher rate than the state as a whole. Health status describes how people perceive their health. This measure can include physical health and mental health as reported by an individual. Lynn residents report that their health status is worse than those across the state, reporting depression, poor mental health, poor or fair general health, and poor physical health.
Health priorities are conditions impacting a person's behavioral and mental health that exist at the intersection and interaction between genetic and environmental factors. Priorities include behavioral and mental health, community health services, stability and conditions of housing, access and activation of public spaces, and food systems. For the purpose of this CHA, the focus has been on environmental factors that are modifiable through individual and community level change efforts. There is a distinction between behavioral health and mental health, in that mental health is inclusive of the psychological and emotional states of an individual, while behavioral health includes these elements as well as the behaviors or actions which individuals engage in. Lynn residents seek emergency and hospital-based care more than those on average in the Commonwealth at a rate of 35% higher than state residents between 2016 and 2019. And in regards to substance use disorder, 50% of overdoses occurred on multiple occasions to the same individual from 2017 to 2021. The Center for Health Administration Analysis, CHIA, collects and provides information about the performance of healthcare system services in Massachusetts. Recent information from the CHIA demonstrates much progress is still needed to create a more equitable system, even in a state with one of the highest rates of health insurance coverage in the country. The CHIA also found that a lower percentage of households of color reported continuous annual health insurance coverage, higher percentage of Hispanic households reported difficulty accessing care, Black and Hispanic residents were 2 and 3 times respectively more likely to rely on emergency care than white residents, and Lynn has a greater percentage of residents who do not have health insurance than the state in general. The City of Lynn has an affordable housing trust fund that was created by ordinance in 2022, and it supports the creation and preservation of affordable housing in Lynn. Lynn Housing and Neighborhood Development, or LHAND, provides a lead abatement program for low-income homeowners or renters with children under 6. In 2019, Lynn received $9.3 million from the federal government to increase program capacity. Safe, inclusive, and accessible public spaces support the overall health of the community. Lynn residents have expressed the need for more opportunity to be physically